So I am going to begin with our Newcastle County Executive, Matt Meyer. Sure. And I'm doing this because of your schedule, so they asked me if I would have you do this. And I want you all to know that Matt is which I'm probably all of you know this, but anyway, he's a terrific supporter of libraries. And in fact, he received the DLA, which is the Delaware Library Association. It's a state organization of librarians and volunteers, and for the Distinguished Service Citation. He received this in May. And the citation recognizes the individual who has been active in supporting library development and services in Delaware. And Matt received this for his advocacy for libraries, support for libraries, for the support for libraries adjusting to the pandemic, and such as creating the hotspot locations, Wi-Fi access on the parking lots, curbside service, just to name a few of them. And library, the creative endeavors to serve all of you. Now, Matt would like to say a few words.
Great.
Thank you
so much. Let's hear it for Judy Taggart. It's hard for me to think of a library event I've been to anywhere in the county that did not include Judy Taggart. We know your home is Newark Free Library, so it's really good to be here. It's great to be here with Representative Baumbach. I know that Councilwoman Diller, not only would Councilwoman Diller do anything to be here, but we likely wouldn't be here without her support and assistance. I know Maylee is here, and I just want to recognize Councilwoman Diller as well. Would love to be here. So libraries are changing a lot. They have changed a lot in my lifetime. I, in many ways, shape and form, learned to read at the North Wilmington Library, which was then off 202, subsequently moved to Falk Road. But libraries are very different now, and with leadership of Judy, with Marcus Henry of Community Services, Diane Brown, and all the library staff here, we're helping to redefine what libraries mean for our community. I think a lot of us just have seen in the last year and a half, when we think about things we missed about libraries, it was not just reading, it was reading. By the way, you can still go to Libby, right? Libby, yeah. I got it right, because I use it, Libby, and take out books online, and I know a lot of people, I did it during the pandemic, I know a lot of people did it, but there was more than just books that we missed at the library. It's a community gathering place, and today we're announcing another attribute, another cool feature particular to Newcastle County Libraries. And again, we are indebted not only to the leadership of Judy and all the friends who are here, not only to Marcus and Diana Brown, but also to Representative Baumbach, of course, Annie Norman, the state librarian, and Councilwoman Diller, who provided, I believe, a $2,500 grant to make this possible. And what I'm announcing today is Library of Things, that we are not just renting out books here at the Newark Free Library, Route 9 Library, and a number of libraries across our county. Several months ago, we announced Chromebook sign-outs, that you could actually take out a Chromebook. We know that laptops and devices have actually become a necessity to work, to go to school, and in some ways to play. Today, we're announcing a whole bunch of additional things you can take out from the libraries. You can take out home tools, you can take out games and puzzles, you can take out multimedia tools. So you can find your thing, you can go to our library catalog online and just search for Library of Things. So we encourage people now more than ever to get out, get a library card, use your library, and now you can use it, of course, for a lot more than just books. Reading is important, reading is fundamental. It's what I most often use libraries for, but it's another attribute. I also, am I supposed to go into the other part of the program as well?
That was at the end of the program, but you can go ahead and jump ahead.
I'll go ahead and jump ahead, because I know it was maybe a little bit of a surprise. Would Sherry McCarthy come up, please, for a minute? So today is a sweet moment in terms of launching Library of Things. It's a little bittersweet with respect to Sherry. I have a proclamation here. Sherry is retiring after years as a librarian. She doesn't think that Newcastle County is cold enough, so she'll be relocating to upstate New York in her retirement. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to read a bit about Sherry McCarthy in her proclamation. Also, you should know that whether it's library things or other things we do at the library, we're only as good as our people, and we have extraordinary staff across our library, and I don't know if anyone represents that more than Sherry. So be it hereby known to all that I, as County Executive, recognize the retirement of Sherry McCarthy. Whereas Sherry began her career with Newcastle County Libraries in October 2005 as a part-time librarian and was quickly promoted to become the full-time adult services librarian here at Newark Free Library in December of 2005. Whereas Sherry is what we call a librarian's librarian. She's well-versed in the foundations of librarianship, collection development, and reference services. And whereas Sherry has been key to the growth of library services in Newcastle County, serving on a number of system-wide teams. If you can find what you're looking for in our library collections anywhere across the county, it may well be that she was responsible for getting it ordered and on library shelves in sufficient quantities to meet patron demand, and that is a very tricky logistical and technological game, so we appreciate that. And whereas as changing patron usage and technology have transformed how libraries are used, Sherry has ensured that collection funding allocations have been adjusted accordingly so that every library and every library patron is treated fairly. For example, expensive print reference materials with low usage were dropped in favor of reference information that could be accessed online. And whereas Sherry has stepped up on multiple occasions to serve as interim director of this library in the absence of the library manager, and her service, especially during this past very challenging year, has been especially appreciated. Whereas Sherry exemplifies quality service and has set an example for all of our other staff to follow, not just in the library, but across the county. And whereas to kick off her retirement, Sherry, as I mentioned, will be returning to upstate New York with her husband, where they will be certain to enjoy the weather year-round. But she always has a home here in Newcastle County. So now, therefore, I, as County Executive, by virtue of the authority vested in me, wish Sherry the best in her retirement and do hereby proclaim today, July 29th, 2021, as Sherry McCarthy Day in Newcastle County. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I have a challenge coin for you somewhere. Okay.
Thank you.
If you shop anywhere in Delaware, gets you don't have to pay sales tax.
Thank you.
That's Got it? There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. I'm running to actually have a learning garden we're launching in Wilmington with Kumbo Academy. So sorry for running a short amount of time, but thank you for everything you've done.
Yeah, no, thank you. We'll come back to Sherry a little bit later, so I'm kind of making a few adjustments. So now I'm going to continue with our introductions. And now I would like to introduce Representative Paul Baumbach. And if you'd like to just stand while I'm going to say a few words, because he's such a great advocate for libraries. He is extremely a strong advocate for libraries at the state level, as well as the county level, but particularly the state level. And he initiated Delaware legislators, our bipartisan support from Delaware to contact our congressional delegation to get their support for, it's called Build America's Libraries Act, which they're still working on. So far, Lisa Blunt Bradley and Senator Rochester, sorry, and Senator Carper have signed on to it, and we're working on Senator Coons. He has not done that yet. And if approved, this act will bring $20 million to the state for capital, which could speed up our project. So I have Chris Coons' phone number, and I did it a couple days ago, and I got directly to him. So if you're interested and willing to call, just place a quick call, and I'll give you the number later. But I really want to thank Paul because it helped move ahead Lisa Blunt Rochester's support, as well as Senator Carper's, when they heard the letter from the state. So thank you again for that. As Matt said, Lisa Diller could not be here, and we had really worked around her schedule to have it today, but she is having emergency eye surgery, so we wish her well on that. She thought it was pretty routine, but you know, whenever you do anything with eyes, you're always kind of nervous about it. And I'd like to introduce Marilee DiCario. Hope I said it right.
Murphy. Mary Lee Murphy.
Oh, Marilee Murphy DiCario. Okay. And she's a legislative assistant to Lisa Diller, and she was really the point person who assisted and guided board member Sue Peters. And where's Sue?
Right here.
Oh, right here. Okay. Sue really did the writing. She's a beautiful writer, wrote the whole grant. I didn't have to worry about it at all. She's just, did a great job. It's true of all the board members. They all do what they're supposed to do and carry their load, which makes my job easy. But I really thank both of you for the leadership on that and the friends. And I'd like to introduce Marcus Henry. Marcus, who's the Newcastle County General Manager of Community Services. Diana Brown, who's the director of the libraries, and then our friends board members who are here. Barbara Jo German, who took care of our refreshments, schlepped the water here. Anybody that's done that knows it's not fun. And she is vice president. And let's see, Katie Ferrero, Katie's back here. She's, in fact, has a children's program coming up next week, I guess. She's running for the library. Mary Ann Gladwick, glad to have you too. And they were both one of the greeters. And Dorothy Sharkey, a former board member, real great supporter of the libraries and continues. And Joanne Deshawn, another great supporter who just went off our board. And now we're ready to launch, finally, the Library of Things. So I'd like to introduce Pam Stevens, who is the adult service librarian. And she has really worked with Sue in development of this Library of Things.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I want to start out by some show and tell. Let's pass some things around. This is pretty cool. This is a endoscope with a camera. So make sure you, wherever you're at, try to zoom in on some things.
Here, show it. Back up for a second.
Okay.
Show it one more. Show it to me. You can show
All
it
right.
to me. Got it, Sophie?
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
So what does it do?
That's an endoscope with a camera. So
Stick it into places where
say
you can't
you
reach.
dropped your, diamond ring under the couch or down the drain, or you needed to see something in your engine and it's just kind of hard to see. So that's something that can be used for those sorts of things. This is another one of our household tool items, which is very unique to Newcastle County Libraries. This is a moisture meter. So this is actually pinless. Some of them can actually damage your wall, but we got the pinless type. You just place this on your wall or your floor or anywhere that you think might have moisture, and it will detect moisture. So you can actually put your hand on that and see that things changing. So pass that around. And another item of our household tools. This is actually a thermal leak detector. So if you want to know if your house is up to par with air leaks through your windows, or is your HVAC system working, you can point this and it will shine lights. So just another cool little toy. And an important item. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here and for the people that made this event and collection possible. The Library of Things, or LOT, or LOT, that you might have it be referred to, is a term used to define a library collection that goes beyond print material or traditional library items. Library institutions across the country have been incorporating LOT into their collections long before it became a trend around 2013 or so. In fact, the Newark Free Library was a pioneer of LOT with loaning art prints, Polaroid cameras, and vinyl records back in the 1980s. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Okay. So LOT of today has included household tools, games, musical instruments. You'll see a lot of those things here, technology, and many other items of high demand. These items hold true to the mission statement and values of Newcastle County Libraries, which states, to inspire innovation and lifelong learning, advance literacy, and strengthen connections within the community. Our values adapt and innovate in order to stay relevant to people's changing needs and interests. Free library institutions were founded to provide equitable access to materials not easily obtained by all that will enrich lives and inspire imagination. And the LOT LOT collection continues that mission into the future. So I want to give you a little logistics of how this works. These things are just like books. So they can, which means they can be transferred between libraries. They can check out for 3 weeks. They can be renewed and placed on a request to be sent in for you. They're going to be promoted through social media avenues and displays in our library. And like Matt said earlier, one of the best ways to find a list of these items in our Delaware Library catalog, which is dlc.lib.de.us, is to do a search by subject of Library of Things, and you'll find a list of collection from Route 9 Library, Downstate, Appoquinimink, and you'll find all the things there. So this collection demonstrates one of the many ways libraries of the 21st century are continuing to meet the needs of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate all the thought she gave to identifying things, and we still have a little bit of money left, I think, in the grant. So if you think of anything, someone mentioned a blood pressure cuff, which I thought would be good, you know, by age, it's something to think about. And and if we get requests, I'll take it to the Friends, and we may be able to allocate additional dollars to purchase some things too. So that's it. All right, now, next. All right, now I'm going to go back and bring up Sherry again. This is the Friends part of recognizing Sherry. And as Matt said, she's retiring this week. And I have a little bit of a bio. Mine's a little bit different from Matt's, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. Sherry attended library school at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. She graduated in '84 and started her first job at the downtown central branch of the Birmingham Library, where she worked in the Science, Technology, and Business Department. Later, she worked at the Penfield Public Library outside Rochester, New York. She started at the Newark Free Library in 2005, and she's been here 16 years as the Adult Services Librarian. And one of our friends was just telling me, Ethelyn, that her daughter volunteered here, and her daughter's now working, so you may remember her from doing that. So that was nice to hear. So on behalf of the Friends, we would like to present to you a little token of our appreciation, this, and the flowers that are on our refreshment table.
Oh, all right.
So enjoy those.
Thank
okay?
you.
All right.
Very
So, we also have a card up here that we would like you to sign for Sherry too. So it's on the table with the refreshments. As I conclude, I want to thank you, our Friends, and because we couldn't do this support of the library that we've giving it without the Friends' financial support. And we'd like to thank Newark Post Josh Shannon, who's a great promoter of the library. He was out there when we installed our little free library, waited till we got it installed, and did a very nice publicity for that, which we appreciate. It's over by the Hope Dining Room. And it's the information he provides about the library is both in the print and social media. So this concludes our program.
2, 3.
Start.
Gotta go, go, go. 3.
Great.